Hello everybody, Corey here. I'm going to do the daily roundup for the single stock ETF funds here. Just a reminder, I am not a qualified licensed investment or financial advisor, and that I'm here just to, bring you the data that I'm able to obtain and pull and present it to you, hopefully in a manner in which you can understand and read, especially for those of you that may be similar to me and don't know a lot about options and stuff. But anyway, just a reminder also that the YieldMax ETF funds are extremely risky, and here's a list of all of the risks that they define on their website, as you can see below, but you can also find them on their website. So I apologize for just getting around to these and not doing them last night with the Ulti and YBet. I had to get to bed at a decent time to get up early this morning. But better late than never, right? So we can see here that we have we had a lot of trades on Friday. Let's actually make this a little bigger. Obviously, I'm not going to go through here and read all of these, but we do have the short call premium received in column B, and then we have just the total short call trades in C, synthetics in D, and then we have our total amounts in E. So if we look here, so AIYY paid out $210,000. AMD brought in $380,000. AMZ brought in $634,000. Aptly brought in $224,000. Coney brought in $9.2 million. No trades for Dizzo. Phoebe brought in $338,000. GUI was $3.26 million. JPMO paid out $782,000. No trades for Murney. MSFO, they received $307,000. Misty received $1.88 million. Nefli received $290,000. Nvidia paid out $14.8 million. PayPay. Oh, I missed one. OARC received $626,000. PayPay received $42,000. Squee received $443,000. Tesla paid $11.2 million. Zomo received $92,000. And honestly, I'm going to remove this. I don't know if those are even accurate. And you can see those on the Ulti sheet along with YBit here. You can see those on the YBit video. So we're going to move over. If you want to see the net assets or outstanding shares for these, I guess I did not put the formula in there for YBit. Well, I guess the data's not pulling right now because it's not pulling into the workbook right now, because those are formulas. That's why I always copy over and paste here, so I'll have to get that. I must have done it after the fact. I must have added YBit after the fact, so it looks like the data won't be on this sheet as far as all this data, but again, we have that separate video for that. But anyway, so we have all that for the net assets and outstanding shares. Then here we had the current price, the NAV prices of the end of day Friday, and that difference here. If you want to screenshot that or pause, do that here now. And then I'm going to go over, and now we're going to look at stock data here. So if we're looking at where they closed at on Thursday versus Friday, and then we have our change there in dollars and cents and the percentage amount. So here we're looking at the cent, so AIYY. Well, let's first look at the overall market here. So the overall market, S&P was up 1%, and then the NASDAQ 100 was up 1.65%. So we have AIYY up 18 cents, AMD up 27 cents, AMZ up 74 cents. Apley was up 6, Coney up $1.08, Dizzo down 2 cents, Phoebe negative 6 cents, GUI positive 93 cents, JPMO negative 12 cents, Murney plus 37, MSFO plus 36, Misty plus 64. So it's interesting. Coney was up more than Misty. Nephilim down 7, NVIDIA up 58, OARC up 16, PayPay up 20, Squee up 41, Tesla down 15, and Zomo, wow, was down 41 cents. If we look at our underline here in column column U, we have the, which apparently I guess this data wasn't available when I copied this data over. So let's look real quick. Well, that data still doesn't come in. Murney. So it looks like Moderna is 57 cents. I can copy it, but it's not going to stay because I can't paste values on an iPad. But of course now it has to load again. But it was 50-something% there. But anyway, here we have the IV for all of them, except for Moderna, unless it loads. And then we have the IV the estimate based off of the implied volatility only here, and today's IV, or Friday's IV. And then of course we have Thursday's close data, and then we have Friday's close data. Well, this isn't even going to load, so we'll just go ahead and clear that back out. So Moderna here was 57 cents IV, or 57% IV, with a possible 99-cent distribution if we were just looking at that IV and today's stock price. Whew, sorry. Okay. If you want to see this, keep this data, screenshot it. I'm going to do that, so then we can look at these. Of course, I didn't truly look at the underlying, so it looks like negative. We had Apple, Disney, Netflix, Tesla, and then Zomo being negative 3%, so that's the biggest one for the day. And then everybody else was positive. Coin was up 6%, Google was up 10%, and NVIDIA was up 6%. Everybody else was 0 to 3% there. Now, if we look at the differences in the percentage change between the YieldMax and the underlying for the majority won, which makes sense, right? Because the stock market was positive. But it looks like we have 6 YieldMax ETFs that did better. So only 32% of the YieldMax ETFs, while the other 13 or 68% of the underlying did better. If we look at our differences here, AI did an additional 2% better than AIYY. Ooh, look at Google. Google did 10%, while GUI was only 5%. So there's a 5% difference there. Same thing with NVIDIA down there. NVIDIA did, I didn't even realize NVIDIA was up that much, but this shows NVIDIA was up 6%, while NVIDIA was up 2%. So we have a 4% change there. And then we had 2%. So PayPal was up 3%, while PayPay was up 1%. So 2% better for PayPal there. But that's everything else is basically between -1% and 1% change. All right, and then I didn't go over down here, forgot about them. YMAG here was up 41 cents, YMAX was up 26 cents, and Ulti was up 27 cents. And then if you're curious about YBIT, YBIT looks like it closed and opened the same. Let's see, I just want to make sure the formulas are right, but yes. All right. So from here on out, though, the YBet data should be down there since it's on our main screen. Now, if we go to the days to recovery here, we have a new one. I know I did this data Friday, which was just yesterday. It seems like it was 2 days ago now. It's been a long day. But look at GUI over there. It has recovered its last dividend, 3 times there? 1, 2, 3, yeah, 3. More than 3.5 times. So that's good. And Murney's looking pretty decent there. And then our new one, well, Apley's looking bad. It's, it had recovered within 6 days. It was the third one to recover, and now it's still not even back in the positive there to even try to recover again. But then we had a brand new one and PayPay right there. If you look, the day before the distribution, the day before the ex-dividend date, which was the declaration date, it was 1928, and then Friday it closed at 1928. So it's exactly, earned back its distribution amount of 47 cents. So it took it 17 days, and it's the fourth one. And next week, we actually have, we're back again for distribution already. Man, these weeks are going by way too fast. Way too fast. So I don't know how many more of these will recover, if any of them. So we will see. Now, I will say I did go back and do all the data since inception on all of these for all the days to recover. I just got to find time to do that video. But it's interesting looking at all of them and how well they've done or not done, and then trying to rank them against each other. But I do have all that data. I did that last week at some point. And then here, if we look at this data, so I am going to try to pull this in just so we can get as much on the screen as possible and zoom in just in case. But if you're new to this, column AK is the number of short calls that each ticker has, or ETF has, and then AL is the maximum strike price for that ETF. And then column AM is going to tell you how far away we are from that strike price dollar-wise, and then AN is going to tell you the same data percentage-wise. So we don't, obviously we're in the green, but let's sort this by the percentage off just to look at these. And I know if you're just looking at certain YieldMax ones, you probably don't care about all of them, but if you look here, Murney's only 3 cents from having its max strike price. Now, with that said, right, this is Friday. We're fixing to start a whole brand new week, and we're only 3 cents away from the max strike price of its short call. AIYY is only 17 cents away, which means it's at like $22.83. Because we want to stay under the short call there, right? Dizzo is 1% away, and then we have the ones that are 2%. Nefli, GUI, JPMO, and OARC are all 2% underneath the strike price. VB and MSFO are 3% below their strike price. Apley, NVIDIA, Zomo, AMZ are all 5% below their strike prices. And then Tesla, PayPay, Coney, and AMDY are 7% below their strike prices. Squee is 9% below, and Misty is 10% below. Now, if we want to look at columns A and O here, this is their short call, the data for the short call still. So column AO is looking at the market value, which you don't see here, but the market value of Murney, for example, the first one. The market value of Murney is bringing the stock price down 90 cents, which is 4.4% of the share price. And so that's how to read that. So we have 4% Mooey, Murney and Gooey are down 4% due to their market value for their short calls. And then we have Coney and Misty at 3% down. And then Squee, AIYY, and Phoebe are down 2%. And then and then AMC and PayPay are almost 2%. And then we have in the 1% there, AMDY, OARC, and NVIDIA. And then everybody else that's below 1% is Netflix, Zomo, Disney, Apple, Tesla, JPMO, and MSFO. So those are doing good. Now we flip it now and we look at our synthetics. That's the next section here. We have the first column, same thing. How many how many synthetics do we have? So you see a couple of these have 2, but most only have 1. And then column AS, which is the first synthetic, this is the strike price for those. And then AT, the same thing for the other side. How far below are we dollar-wise? Below or above. So how far are we away from the strike price? And then in column AU is the percentage amount. So in this case, Phoebe, so if we go back here, just want to make sure, because that seems really, they did have earnings, didn't they? Okay, so where is, I hit it. So let's open this up. There we go. So 443, Meta closed at 443. Oh no, I guess they are because we were red so much and everything kept going down, down, down. So the stock price here for Meta, Meta tanked at earnings too. That's what it was. Now I remember. I was trying to think of why they were down. So they're at 443 now. So they are below the synthetic strike price by $71 here. And we want to be above the strike price for the synthetics, which is the opposite of the short calls, right? We want them to be below. So, because, we're $71 down, which is 14% below the strike price. And then we have for ARC and Netflix, I guess it doesn't matter whichever I say, OARC or Netflix, those strike prices, they're 12% below. And then we have Coney at -9%, Squee at -7%, Dizzo -6%, MSFO and NVIDIA are -4%. And then we have JPMO and AMZ -3%, Murney, Zomo, and AMD -2%, Tesla -1%, Apple, it's only 71 cents below it, so that one's pretty good. But then we have GUI and PayPay is above the synthetic position 1%. AIYY is above the position 4 of the strike price, and Misty is above it by 12%. Now normally most of these would be positive, but because we had so many red days, a lot of these went down, down, down. And then of course we had Meta for earnings went down, Netflix for earnings went down. Excuse me. So we have those that have gone down, and then of course Bitcoin has gone down. So there's just been lots of things going against these things, and what sucks about it is that these expire. I think I've said last week, I said 2 weeks several times, but clearly I can't count. It's 3 weeks. So we have 3 weeks to recover. But we would normally be in the green for the majority of these versus the red. But most of the time we're going up, right, and not down in the stock market. So we'll see. And then we have the other two here, of course. So Phoebe has one that's, negative 14%, and the other one's negative 16, and Tesla's got one that's negative 1 and negative 2. And then when we look here, in these two columns, this is the same thing as the short call. So now how does this affect the stock price, right? So the synthetic value of Phoebe, and then we would break that out per share, it is negative, checking my sort, yeah. So it's bringing the stock price of Phoebe down. The market value is $3.46, which is bringing the stock price down 17.9% or 18%. I only made these, I usually don't do decimals, but I don't know, I guess I thought these, would be, we needed them. I don't know, I might take them back out. I don't like dealing with, prefer dealing with round numbers and percentages if possible. But yeah, we're down significantly, $3.50 on the Phoebe stock price, share price, because of this synthetic position. So it's just significant. And, this is what happened to AIYY and has happened a lot to Tesla, so this I found to be really important. So I'm sorry that I spent a lot of time on this, but, it's not just about the short calls. We tend to look over the synthetics, but these synthetics are very important. But we have ARC and Neplead, they're down 13% because of the synthetic. Coney down 10, Squeeze down 7, Dizzo down 6, MSFO and Nvidia are down 3, JPMO down, MSFO and Nvidia are down 4, JPMO and AMZ are down 3. Okay, what did I sort that by? Because I could have sworn, maybe I didn't resort it, my bad. I didn't. Okay, I apologize. So, Tesla and AMZ, yeah, down 3. Then Zomo down 2. With Murni and AMD about 1.5. And Apple's down 0.2% or 3 cents. So that's not bad. And then if we want to look at which ones are up, again, those that were green on their synthetics, and you can see how these affect them, right? GUI is up 26 cents, PayPay up 36 cents, AIYY is up 42 cents or 3%, while Misty's up $3. Stock price is up $3.31 or 10% because of the market value of the synthetics. So anyway, I know it's a lot, and I spent a lot of time on this in the end, and I could stop covering it as much if y'all want. I just want to make sure, since these are new sections, that everybody's fully understanding these and the importance of them. Of course, most of you might cut the video off at that point, but anyway, I hope y'all are still enjoying these videos, and I'm going to go ahead and do the trades and holdings videos, so these will be done, and then hopefully tomorrow I can get around to doing the weekly videos. I probably wouldn't have done these today, but I wanted to make sure I could, finish getting the end of week videos out at a minimum. But anyway, I hope y'all are having a great weekend so far, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.